Hey, free-to-play gang, welcome back to another video. I have some major news and some big updates for you guys. So currently I'm on my own, the main server. I'm not on the PTR server. I'm on the main server. There are some major things to take note of. So the first is obviously the way that Dislyte can monetize Ethan a little bit more. So I don't know whether you remembered, but I mentioned 17 things to take note of about Ethan, and one of the biggest setback, which I actually highlighted it red or no, orange or something like that, is that when Ethan is at R2, he doesn't prioritize his second skill, which makes him terrible AI. It makes him a bad choice, especially when you're running him in auto content like Point War and in Knockout, for example. So right now they have actually gone ahead to optimize the performance of Ethan in auto battle. Now when Ethan reaches level 2 resonance R2 basically, he will prioritize casting his second skill over other abilities. So he right now has smart AI, and I'm pretty sure the devs actually figured it out, like, oh wait, why is it that no one is buying Ethan right now? Okay, but that's a good move. I mean, this really helps his AI a lot. This is quite necessary in fact, because he's gonna start off with his third skill buff, his magic tune buff. So it's most ideal if he goes straight into his second skill so that he can debuff at the start and just do whatever that he needs to do and then reapply his buff afterwards. So this is definitely smart AI, and anyone who has R2 and above Ethans right now, you guys can celebrate for a little bit. This is going to be a great update for you. But of course, I hate the fact that they screwed up the AI of like other Espers, right? Like Dahlia, for example, is still not fixed. Gaius, for example, also Gaius has really bad AI. And of course, let's not forget Jinyu Yao. They did her dirty. Now she sucks in PvE because she just throws a third skill anytime that she wants. And that also sucks for PvP in my opinion, because you need to use it when you need it, not when you feel like dealing more damage, I think. Because she's not so much of a damage dealer, she's more of a debuff remover, but I digress. Now, the next major update that I need to provide to you guys, and I think we are going to update a little bit here. So the next major update is, if you take a look at the PTR server, they have actually unveiled the next Esper. The next upcoming Esper. Let's take a look. Take a look at this, take a look at this. New Esper, new Esper. Who do we have over here? Drop the beat. Okay, so it's not mentioned who this Esper is, but I know there is some word going around on who she is. I can't say for sure, but what I can guarantee is that she looks pretty awesome. And in fact, she looks much more like what a baseball waifu is supposed to look like. I mean, just look at the hat, just look at her outfit. She looks so sporty, looks so cool, right? Like fantasy baseball, right? So that is update number 2. There is going to be a new Esper coming really soon, and it begins in 12 days, which is right after this current update. So she's going to be the next banner Esper, and we are one step closer to our anniversary event. And I know a bunch of you guys are not saving, but do consider saving, because I don't want you guys to regret, especially when you guys are watching my videos. I want you guys to get the most out of watching my content, and that means saving when you do need to save as well. And some of you guys also asked me, do I know anything about anniversary event? I honestly do not know anything. I do not know what to expect. I do not have any special information apart from being in the PTR server. But what I can say is, knowing Dislyte, they tend to throw some really big events every once in a while just to ramp up their profits for the time being. So with whatever time that we have left, just try to save everything, right? All your currency. So like even right now, in my PTR account, I have 150 summons. I have not actually touched it just yet. I'm gonna save it just to see what's to come in the future, and so that I can test stuff out as well. And one more huge news, which is only available in PTR server right now, is that the novice support is actually available to all players, and that includes existing players as well. So this just dropped, and it hasn't dropped on the main server just yet. And as you can see, I can select one of the 3 different Espers here. Now, I know some of you guys have been saying that Jinhee is a good Esper, but in my honest opinion, okay, just my own honest personal opinion, yes, she does stun for 2 turns, which cannot be resisted as well. Yes, perfect. But you know who else can do that? Liao can do that as well. Liao is a rare Esper. But of course, yes, she can extend the enemy's cooldowns, she can steal buff, she can do a lot of things. She's actually quite effective against JJs as well. I do understand that, but the thing is, holo battles are kind of like moving out of the meta right now. No one really cares too much about holo battles unless they do fix it, which I do think they are going to do it in the end. So she might still be viable. I'm not saying that she sucks or anything like that, but right now I do feel like she's only viable in RTA and in holo battles, and just these 2 main areas. But as for the time being, holo battles is really quite achievable without some of these specific characters. Like even Elliot is also not that great unless you're really up against JJ teams. But then again, you also have Liao for the same roles that you might want to use her in. So I'm just going like based on efficacy and based on what's worth it for your option, based on a selection here, of course. I do feel like if you are a new player, I think Jiangma is probably going to be the best choice. But if you're an endgame player and you want to pick a new Esper to play around with and all that, Koharu is actually a really good choice. So the reason why I say Koharu is a really good choice is because she really excels in APEP, for example, even though that might not be key for you. But because of her kit, she has Seer, she has Defense Break, she has disease, she gives your team extra attack, she gives your team extra healing, but that's not very necessary. And of course on top of that, she doubles as a slight healer as well. She is going to perform really well as an offensive support. So if you're in the end game, you don't really need so much of like a hard support. You might need something more of an offensive support, and that's where Koharu comes in, and she's definitely viable in some other content as well. I've yet to explore, but I do feel like she brings the most value as opposed to, like, let's say Jinhee for example, and most of you guys already have Jiangman at like max reso, so if that's the case, you don't need another copy of Jiangman. But if you're looking to max reso your Jiangman, then yeah, why not? Because if you take a look at her max reso at R6, she actually has a 100% chance to counter attack with Nether Bloom, so it's actually not a bad choice if you do need an extra copy of her just to obtain the R6 resonance over here. Now, news number 4, okay, so we have the Warm Spring event, so you just daily log in and you're gonna get stuff, right? So you're gonna get up to 30 elemental records, which is really cool, and there is also the Heron Box event that is coming out as well, and yeah, that's about it. So these are the main changes for the update that is coming really soon, and of course the one update that isn't going to come so soon is going to be the next banner Esper, which is happening in actually about 13 days, right? So that's it for this video. Hope you guys are excited as I am. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and subscribe for more Dislyte content. Now with that said, this has been Dairy Free to Play, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Oh, and thank you guys for your well wishes. I am kind of well right now. I think I'm like maybe 95%. But yeah, I really appreciate it. You guys rock.